On first episode of season 5 of The Chi Overnight Stardom, Emmett makes an effort to get Tiff back. For herself and her son, Keisha wants to begin a new chapter. Kevin increases the intensity of his enthusiasm. Jake signs up to play basketball. At the school pep rally, Papa's announcement immediately goes south. In her relationship with Suede, Jada encounters a challenge. Trig continues his attempts to defend the neighborhood while taking a significant step. Tracy is visited by Duda and an old acquaintance. Previously, on the season 4 episode 10 finale of The Chi, Emmett made Tiff make a decision. She said she chose him, but snuck away with Rob, played by Iman Shumpert. With regard to Marcus, Trig must live with his choice. After her father's attack, Gemma is in shock. Trig had proof that Duda almost killed Marcus, so he was driven out of his position as mayor of Chicago and fled. As someone eats Keisha out while she is covered up, her eyes roll to the back of her skull. To everyone's amazement, Emmett, her former flame and best friend, is there instead of Christian. The two are engaged in combat until Tiff, who has her things packed and is prepared to leave, startles Emmett from his soggy dream. He attempts to stop her, but she is leaving with their son to visit her mother because their marriage has been troubled for too long. She concludes from his boner that she wasn't in the dream. Dre yells at Kevin and Line to hurry to school while they are playing video games and vaping, and they almost get caught. Over breakfast, Trig, Shad, and Jake talk and pray. Imani, as played by Jasmine Davis, is not there, but it appears that the character's departure from the program would result from his failure to follow COVID regulations. Together, Jada and Suede awaken, and Suede looks healthy and has a full head of hair after surviving cancer. Despite the fact that, based on Jada's face, their relationship appears to be in trouble. When the old crew got together, Jake dropped Gemma down at school on the north side and was eager to join the basketball team, but his girl wasn't paying attention to his passion. Tracy, Trig, and Shad intervene to stop a fight between Bakari and another teen in the ROCK center. They reprimand them for fighting over blocks that neither of them possess. They force them to make amends to Tracy and requested that they volunteer at the facility. Tracy revealed to Trig and Shad that she had witnessed Bakari murder Ronnie after they had left. Claiming to have been nearby when he stated, "That's for Coogie," as she stood over Ronnie's body. Tracy is unaware that Kevin was the one who murdered Ronnie. Trig persuaded Tracy not to condemn the individuals they were attempting to save by telling her not to condemn the young man. Tiff was sent back to her mother's house by Dolly, played by Shariba Rivers, who chastised her for choosing an open marriage. By enrolling in college and taking her kid, Lil Ronnie, with her, Keisha started a new chapter in her life. In order to get Tiff back, Emmett asked his father, Darnell, played by Rolando Boyce, for assistance. He suggested they get wasted, chat, and cry, and discuss it. Shad was proud of Trig and grateful that Imani welcomed him after a hard start to last season as they proceeded to the jewelry store to choose Imani's ring. Shad said, "We had to call you something 'cause you was shootin' left and right," as Trig signed for the ring, forgetting that Trig's real name is Victor. They talked about Imani's arrival from St. Louis the following day as they were leaving the shop. She was there tending to her mother's health issues. Meanwhile, a drunken Emmett asked his inebriated father does he dream about sex with other women, and he admitted he thought of Jada while having sex with Dom to get off. Emmett was disgusted and left for Tiffany's mother's house but threw up in her yard as he approached, and Dolly saw him and cursed him out. Emmett held their photo in his hands and spoke with his wife. She refused his invitation to return home, claiming she needed more time. Finally, she admitted to him that she no longer believes she wants to be his wife. Suede inquired with Jada about relocating together. She needed time to consider since she was unsure. Tiffany informed Keisha what she said to Emmett when Keisha dropped by to visit Tiff at her mother's house. Keisha wanted to talk about school and her son, but the topic drifted to her ex-boyfriend, Christian. Tiff responded positively to Rob's text message to her while it was happening. Jake failed miserably in the basketball tryouts and was dismissed. Gemma was late in showing up to witness him fired. He bit her head off in rage because he felt bad about something. Emmett was creating a playlist at the restaurant and belting out his own rendition of Carl Thomas's I Wish. Emmett admitted Tiffany had left him after Trig caught him off guard. Trig was assuring Imani that his BBQ shop was still open for his marriage proposal. Suddenly, a brick was thrown through Trig's G-Wagon's glass. He saw Bakari, who claimed not to have done anything, while laughing about it. Trig became furious with him and choked and punched him till he regained composure. Trig walked it off while another youngster who was with Bakari recorded everything. While playing computer games, Kevin, Jake, and Papa talked about Jake's disastrous tryouts, which was the elephant in the room. He believed that even without experience or training, he would succeed. Papa chided his pals for not listening to and supporting him as the conversation shifted to his podcast. Kaisha left Christian a voicemail informing him that she was prioritizing her son and her studies over a romantic relationship. Tiff was astonished to see her mother up late drinking when she entered. Rob encouraged her to stay at his house during their FaceTime conversation. He informed her he wasn't looking for a live-in buddy, but she didn't want to be that. Suede purposefully neglected to fix her showerhead so she could unwind in a bath since she genuinely wanted to live with Jada. She then said that she actually preferred being by herself, which he interpreted as wanting him to be his glorified TaskRabbit, and he departed. Trig was awakened by Shad so he could show him the video of him slapping Bakari. He was embarrassed by the remarks and the community leader wanted to be fired. Shad was interested in talking to the young man because he was once him. Marcus, Gemma's father, kept an eye on her when she stayed at home since she needed a mental health day. She opened up to him about regretting that she shouldn't have stayed with Kevin because he desired a deeper relationship with her. On how to make boys like her, he gave her some wise fatherly counsel. That required giving Jake some room. Leave him alone if he didn't miss her. He must follow her standards of behavior if he comes back. Papa was supposed to introduce the new team at the school's first basketball game. However, he made fun of Jake in front of the audience for his basketball prowess before changing the subject to how most in the audience lacked father figures in their lives. He was booed for that, and a teacher shoved him aside. Bakari was challenged about being lured when Trig and Shad finally got up to him. The teen protested, but they were able to see through his tough guy persona and ordered him to join them at the center. Darnell was wearing Bluetooth when Jada called to ask him to fix her faucet. He was seduced by her, and when he tried to kiss her, she intervened because they were both with other people. Darnell took offense when their own significant others referred to them as babies. She continued to reject him. She was the one that got away, he acknowledged. He played a brand new first-person shooter game he had been dying to try when Kevin and Line went to the arcade. But as he was playing, he suddenly remembered accidentally killing Ronnie with a shot to the head. Kaisha thought back on Christian's delayed reaction to her breaking their relationship as Once in a Thousand Years by Aaron Kaplan played in the background. He talked about how it bothered him that good guys always came in last and that being too nice made people think of him as strange. He was there for her and Lil Ronnie if they needed him and had no ill will toward her. When Tiff brought her son to Rob's house, he invited her to stay longer if necessary. Trig was down on one knee and holding the ring when her friend, not Imani, entered the BBQ joint. Everyone was waiting for Imani to do so. The acquaintance informed him that Imani opted to remain in St. Louis and wanted some time after watching the video of Trig abusing a teenager. By asking the DJ to play the Cupid Shuffle, Shad attempted to lighten the atmosphere, but Trig couldn't help but feel disappointed. While watching a movie at home, Tracy heard a knock on the door. She encountered Q, aka Quentin Dickinson played by Stephen Williams, who said he was returning to finish what he had started. Duda then joined Quentin and informed Tracy that he had returned to get her.